Flash your time with triple G. Brace yourself for the things you'll see. From comic books to toys and more. And all cartoons that we adore. Pop culture, flicks and geeky stuff. We love it all and can't get enough. So settle in and enjoy the show. Please hit like and subscribe before you go.
How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek, and welcome back to the best comic show from the UK, starring a Geordie and a Scot/Irish man on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. Rusty Staples, our flagship show that me and Andy do together. Andy, how are you, sir?
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I don't know what I'm more surprised about, the fact that the show's still going, or that we've tolerated each other for the last 4 or 5 episodes.
I mean, tolerate is a stretch. Do you know what I mean? We accommodate each other. That sounds rude, doesn't it? We don't.
I mean, if it wasn't for the slides, let's be honest.
No, to be fair, it is absolutely a pleasure doing. You know how much I love you, Andy. It's a pleasure doing this show with you, and I look forward to doing this one.
I am fairly adorable, to be honest.
I mean, it depends who you ask. But yeah, so we've got loads to talk about tonight. We've got some cracking books to talk about tonight, Andy. I feel we're in a bit of a golden age of reading. Do you know what you're like? Because I know me and you have talked lots of times about how we kind of go through ups and downs of reading. I feel like I've got the bug again lately, and I don't know if it's because of this show. I feel we've read some classics, but I sat yesterday because I was off work yesterday, and I knocked off, I think it was 18 comic books. I knocked off. Then I read 18 comic books, just off the belt, and it was lush, just sitting and reading.
I mean, you say it's a show. I'm putting it down to me, to be honest, Peter. I think it's mostly me. But no, I must agree. I like you. I go through those sort of peaks and troughs of wanting to read and falling out of love with comics. But certainly over the last, dare I say it, over maybe the last 2 or 3 months, it's definitely got the bug back. And it's almost like you need to have that excuse to make sure that you keep up with everything, because you don't want to be doing a show like this and no reading any comics or not know what's coming out, sort of thing. So,
well, I'm going to be controversial. There's nothing irritates me more than big name comic book YouTubers who don't seem to read any friggin' comics. All they talk about is CGCs and new collections, but they couldn't tell you what is happening in the world of comics. That grinds my gears a little bit.
I didn't realise we were doing a drama segment, Peter.
Doing a drama section. We're doing a drama. Fuck the lorry is. Yeah, we're doing a drama. No. No, but I think also, to be fair, on reflection, I feel like we're in a bit of a, I don't want to say golden age, but we are in a good time for comics. If you go for certain books, there are cracking stories to be read. And I think for me, you don't know what you're like, Andy, but for me, the trick now is cutting my losses early. So not sticking to a title just because I've read it for 10 years. Just
feel fast.
It. Yeah.
I don't even give it an issue sometimes. It's the first 3 or 4 pages. Right. I just get the vibe, to be honest with you. But I think it's the fact that we're reading modern stuff, and then we're reading some of the classics, which are largely chosen by the guys that are watching. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's good fun. Good
stuff. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Can't friggin' speak. Let's see who we've got in the chat tonight. We've got Fuzzy Shabba. Nice to see you, Fuzzy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We've got Wayne of the Deacon. Hi, people. It's me, that twat from the internet. Okay. Fuzzy's acknowledging that and saying hello. Nice to see you. Or Terry. It's that
in fairness, there's a few of them.
There is. And nobody's kind of jumping in the chat to say, "Oh, Wayne, that's unfair." It's just accepted. I think it's accepted, Wayne.
We love you, Wayne.
We love you for the twat you are. We love you, Wayne. We love you. Is it that time already? Good evening. Time for oxidized clips. What's that mean?
Did he spell clips correctly?
Rusty Staples. I got.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Terry. Yeah. I'm with you. It took a while, but we're there. We've got Ash. Nice to see you, Ash. Hope you're doing well. And we've got Bat Dan. Always good to see you, Bat Dan. Wayne, I need a good laugh as I'm being made redundant in October. Oh, Wayne, sorry to hear that, mate. That's awful, bud. Mate. That is awful. Sorry to hear that. We've got Super Sorrel. Always good to see you, my friend. Our colour coordinate. Hadn't even noticed that. Yeah. both good looking, both in the same
I
colour.
mean, mine's is green. Peter's is kind of a faded at this point.
Fuck you. Mine's turquoise.
Oh,
And
really?
yours is Adidas. Mine is, of course, sponsored by Slazenger, the brand of big shirts, basically.
The people,
That's why I go
the brand of big shirts.
You both look like twin boogers. Thank you, Wayne.
Do you know who my favourite character is? Oogie Boogie. Does everybody know who Oogie Boogie is? I feel like I'm a little bit of a bald Scottish Oogie Boogie.
Do you know, I literally just watched that film last year. Everyone tells us it's great. I just watched it for the first time last year. Loved it.
Somebody GPT me as Oogie Boogie, please. Somebody got on that. Thanks.
Someone what? Turn you into Oogie Boogie?
Chat GPT me and do me as an Oogie Boogie. That would be fantastic. Do you know who's good at that? Chris Bell. Chris knows his way around that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Chris is very good at that. He's no gizmo. He certainly isn't. You're right. Let's have a look. What else we've got? Lots of people commenting on Wayne. Shots fired. Indeed. Maybe it reads better in a trade, aka I didn't read it. Move on. Yeah. There are 562 words for Rusty. Watch this space. Oh, he's going to do a different one every week. I like that, Terry. I like that.
Challenge
We've got
accepted.
Canadian Survivalist as well. Thank you so much, bud. Do appreciate you dropping by. Okay, lots to get through tonight, Andy. Shall we just crack straight on with charity auction? We did a lot of work for charity. Just before we say, we've got Joshy Boy. Nice to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. What are we doing? So we started off, and as Fuzzy said, we'd given up very quickly, but we started off with a bit of a plan where we were going to kind of upsell comic books. And what we discovered very early on was hard work, that, isn't it? I can't be chewed on that.
Effort, I think, is the key term that we're looking for, which we don't like to do most of the time. And certainly, I speak for myself. I don't. I was going to go that somewhere, but I didn't want to go. I actually thought in my brain I was going to say it, and I stopped. And I went, I'm live on YouTube, and this
was it filth? Was it filth?
Yeah.
Did it like lie back and think of England kind of thing? Is that? Yeah.
Move on.
Okay. So I tell you what, it did make me think, anti-mind. These poor buggers who are out there doing independent sales and trying to make a living of this, whether it's Whatnot, eBay, or whatever, it's a hard slog, mind, to make. Yes, if you manage to grab yourself a key mega book or something like that for pennies, fair enough. But just making normal money on your bog standard comics, you've got to shift a lot of product to make any kind of money, I would have thought.
No, absolutely. From what I understand, and I'm no expert, but there's very little to no profit to be made in modern books. Yeah. It's your slabbing, it's your CGCing, it's all that good stuff that makes the money, as far as I understand. I guess whenever you have to do it and you need to make a living out of it, that's when it becomes a grind, because then you turn your hobby into actually needing to survive. And for me, not for me. I enjoy comics too much to do that. So.
Yeah. So what we've decided to do is, those of you that have been with the channel for a while, thank you. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while will know that last year me and Andy put our heads together and we'll pull together a charity show for Young Minds, a charity for mental health needs for kids. And we managed to raise quite a chunky bit of money for that. I can't remember off the top of my head, it was $2,500 or something like that, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was good.
And that was all because of your hard work in the chat, the donations you guys gave, some donations me and Andy gave, and the support you all gave on the night. And what we've decided to do is we want to do that often. So converting this section really into a charity auction section. So Andy, you've had a few ideas on that. Do you want to tell the people what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll do the charity show. I think we'd sort of suggested the 21st or thereabouts. I think it's the week
December.
after.
November or December?
November. I think we're going to do it the week after. You see, we've obviously planned this really well. It's sometime in the near future. No, we're going to do it the week after Thought Bubble, all going well, unless we're really still hungover, which we probably will be. And the plan is if anybody wants to donate any books or anything that we can auction, you're more than welcome to. If we're going to set up a Just Giving page like we did the last time,
I'm going to do it differently this time. I need to look into it, because the last time we did the Just Giving page, because of the way I'd set it up, Just Giving took a percentage, whereas I'm sure if you set it up as a charity page and it donates directly from that account to their account or something, you don't have to pay the percentage. So I'm going to look into that. And if anybody knows the ins and outs of Just Giving and how to do that, please drop us a private message so I can work my way through it.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that sounds good. And what I plan to do is I'm going to put in a book every 2 weeks. And I think by the end of it, we should have like 14, 15 books. Yeah. And the plan is everybody who donates a $5 or more to the Just Giving page, they'll go into a spin the wheel thing on the night and they get to win all the books. So the first book that I've picked up is the promo for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first book to go in that. So that I mean, guys, I understand that the world that we're in and everything is very expensive at the minute. If you can't donate and you just want to be part of the show, that's absolutely fine. But absolutely every little helps. So get in touch with myself, get in touch with Peter, and we'll be more than happy to take any donations that you have.
Absolutely. Superb. Terry's just saying, ask Rob. Rob's slightly different, Terry, because it's over American based. Though their donations go directly into the American Cancer Society's charitable fund. So it's not via Just Giving or anything, I don't think. But yeah, I will speak to Rob. I did last year, I think, and he was helpful. Seriously, chaps, why the week after Thought Bubble? I'll be broke. You'll be getting a few book donations from me, though. That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't actually think about that.
Yeah, we might leave it till the end of midway through December or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, we'll work something out. Yeah.
It's my doorbell going because my son will have ordered Just Eat. Yeah. Okay.
What did you order? Wait a minute. Yeah. Favorite takeaway. Guys, what are we doing with our lives? You know, what a segment there. You lovely segment. Guys, in the chat, what is your favorite takeaway? Peter, what's your favorite takeaway?
I mean, I am partial to a nice Indian meal, but I don't like heat. But I do like a burrito at the moment. I'm into burritos at the moment. Yeah.
The only thing that I ate in London was Mexican food.
Yeah, and it was awful.
Yeah.
That first one was awful. No, the meal that we
had in the night out was fantastic.
The dodgy taco place was.
See, I didn't have that. I was too busy licking windows outside.
You were sat on the floor in the urine.
Yeah, I was. But yeah, my favorite is a special curry, fried rice, and salty chili chicken balls. If anybody's interested.
Okay. Salty balls? You like a nice mouthful of
what about my Chinese?
Yeah, you like a nice mouthful of salty balls. You filthy
Nom.
Okie dokie. We ain't got anybody commenting in the chat. I don't think anybody eats takeaways. So we'll move on. So that's what we're going to do with the charity stuff, guys. And please support us as best as you can or you're able to. We're going to hopefully at Thought Bubble get some people to donate some artwork and things like that. So we'll go. Sorrel likes a nice tie. I don't know that I've had a lot of tie. I don't, to be honest. I don't think we've got tie takeaways.
I don't think I've ever had a Thai meal in my life.
No.
I must
red curries.
Right, Thought Bubble. Yeah.
Okay. ABC team. This is the part of the show where we each, using our extensive knowledge of Marvel, DC, and indie comic books, we both rack our brains and come up with the most powerful or the best or most interesting team that we can. And Andy, you're starting off tonight with this. And the letter, by the way, the letter was C.
Yes, C. I went for
John
with a J, Constantine. Now, I had to get the help of ChatGPT, so you would never tell when I try to describe some of these characters. And Peter, just before we're coming on, is like, oh, I haven't done the prep for my team. Jeez, doesn't matter if you do the prep.
I'm glad you are honest there, because I was going to push you on that and ask you how you came up with this particular team.
Oh no, I just picked the characters. I don't know if they're any good or anything.
Because I popped into ChatGPT, pick me the strongest team beginning with the letter C. Do you know what characters it pushed out as the top 4 characters?
Go on.
John Constantine, Captain Marvel, Cyborg, and Colossus.
Really?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
It did, absolutely did. It absolutely did. So I guess what I'm implying here,
Are you suggesting? Are you
have you
suggesting that I'm
selected
cheating?
these? Not cheating, using the tools at your disposal. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah.
Do you know what you are, Peter? You're a monster. You're an absolute monster. We could have had that discussion offline, but you chose to air your dirty laundry. Fuzzy saying I think this section is flawed.
Come on, then tell me what ChatGPT told you about these characters.
No. No, you've got 1.5. No. John Constantine. I picked John Constantine because he is the dark magic guy, and he's a kind of almost like a bit of a tongue-in-cheek character. So he gets, he gets out of like scrapes in the comics by just being a bit like cocky, and he's got that kind of attitude about him. His first appearance, I believe, and I'm sure you'll keep me right here, Peter, is Swamp Thing, issue 36, 37 off the top of my head.
I'm not a big John Constantine follower, to be honest.
No. His most recent run I really enjoyed. I think we'd done some of them on the Killer Comic Show. So he's a sorcery guy. So that's the reason I picked that character.
Have you been watching Neil Gaiman's Sandman on Netflix?
No, but I've heard you saying lots of good things about it. Do you know, I just don't know if I want to invest all the time.
Well, no, it's worth it because they're almost standalone episodes, and then it's finished. It's the entire 2 seasons, and it's done, and it's a start, middle, and end. But I guess the reason I say is Joan Constantine is in that all the way through, played by the lady who was in Doctor Who. Then she did Elizabeth, Victoria, I think, on TV.
Right, okay.
And she's superb.
Worth a watch.
Yeah, worth a watch. So the episodes with her are really, really cool. Actually, I really like her. But I'm not a massive John Constantine reader, to be honest.
As I say, the most recent run, I think I got maybe 2 or 3 issues into it, and I thought it was quite good. I thought the writing was quite good, and as a character, it'd be something that you definitely want to see, properly done on the big screen.
Just before you move on, sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
Bat Dan's saying that he's probably one of his favorite characters. Have a look Dan on eBay, because one of the artists Andy spotlighted either last week or the week before on the show, can't remember the guy's name, but he's got a painting on eBay at the moment of John Constantine standing next to Batman, and it's phenomenal, and I very nearly bought it a week or so ago, but I noticed it's still up there at the moment, and it's bigger than A4.
Lee Carter, I think it was.
Yeah, Lee Carter, I think it was, and it's stunning, absolutely stunning. So well worth checking out. It's a beautiful image.
Absolutely. The next character that I picked was Captain Marvel, Carl Danvers, and there's because of the movies, there's been a lot of, and obviously the actress that plays it, there's been a lot of negativity about the character. I'll be honest, I don't quite understand a lot of it, and I don't take a huge amount of notice in it. I just enjoy the character for what it is. First appearance was Marvel Superheroes, I believe, as Carol Danvers, and then obviously she became Captain Marvel in Avenging Spider-Man 9. So yeah, I mean, she's effectively as powerful as Superman, as far as I'm led to understand. The strength, the speed, and the fact that she has that sort of cosmic awareness as well. So I thought that she'd be a great fit. I sort of seen her as the leader of this team, if I'm honest. But yeah, what do you think? A character you enjoy?
Yeah, I do. So she's an ex-military Air Force pilot. So yeah, she's definitely got those leadership powers. I enjoyed both of her movies, and I just do not get the hate for her as an individual. I really, really don't.
Yeah.
People really kind of rallied around pulling her to bits. It's interesting though, in the MCU, I don't know if you're up to speed with her movie appearances, but in Endgame and stuff, she really was played off like this kind of almost, powerhouse, like you've just described.
Yeah.
And then in the last Captain Marvel film, they really nerfed her. They really kind of depowered her.
It was almost like they just wanted to sort of draw a line under the character and almost get her out of the MCU to a certain extent. But how can you do that? Like, character for it. If you follow the character in the comics, like she's one of the most powerful. So yeah. It's a strange one. I wonder if you had to have a different actress to play the character. I mean,
strong female women in it. That's
Yeah.
the issue, I think, with the
Yeah,
people who
potentially.
objected to her as it wasn't the character, it was the fact that she was too powerful and she was in a leadership position. And I think a lot of the general masses, I think as well. I mean, I might be completely wrong here, but I think she made some comments that people jumped on, and she I don't think she helped herself in some ways. I cannot remember the detail now,
Right.
but I know
Okay.
a lot of people were upset with some of the things she'd said. I never was. So I don't know.
I must chat GPT that to find out exactly.
Yes, have a little look see. Have a little look see. Yeah.
Next up we've got Cyborg. I chose Cyborg. Sorry, ChatGPT chose Cyborg because he is that link between all humanity and sort of the robot technology, and the fact that he can master any sort of technology and get into the computers and control those. I think he would be pretty strong as part of a team. And the last one, I think you're a fan of Colossus, I believe, Mr. Rasputin.
Love a bit of Colossus. I like his sister more, but yeah, I'm a big fan of his entire family. So yeah, I really do like Colossus.
He's my lovable character. I think he's just kind of despite his size and his strength, I think he's a kind of almost to a certain extent the most liked character of the team. And I didn't know a huge amount about this character. Obviously, the early 90s X-Men run I really enjoyed and stuff like that. But doing a deep dive and trying to understand what his strengths and stuff like that is. I didn't actually understand. Now, believe it or not, this wasn't a ChatGPT fact. This was actually my X-Men characters encyclopedia that I hope everybody knows and loves. But they said that he doesn't require food when he's in his armored form. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
He's very cool. Great. It's organic steel, I think he's referred to. But yeah, he's superb. Love him.
No,
Let's have a little look. Just before we move on to mine, a couple of people making suggestions. Fuzzy, Catwoman, Cable. I like a bit of Cable. Charles Xavier and Clint Barton. That's a pretty strong team. I like that one. C4 Darkman. I enjoy Brie Larson's work, but not her performance as Captain Marvel. She turned up in a program I watched recently. What was that one? I was surprised to see her there doing a comedy role. What's the one about Chef? He's got The Bear. She was in The Bear, which was quite interesting.
The Bear.
How many Captain Marvels can we put in the same team? Yeah, actually, we could have a good. All the captains. I liked her in Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I loved her in Scott Pilgrim. She was very, very good in that. Very good in that. Terry, you're saying Captain America, Captain Atom. Oh, Captain Atom's a good one. The Nuclear Man, should have gone with that. Captain Comet, Captain Britain. There's a theme there. Can you see it? Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Captain Birdseye. Why did nobody pick that?
Oh, Condor Man. God, Condor Man. Cannonball, Captain Britain, and Cloak. Are you familiar with the superb movie Condor Man?
No.
Oh, mate. It's the guy who played Frank Spencer. Is a comic book writer. I'm going back 30 years here. So the last time I saw this, it's shite. It's awful. The film's that old, but it's the guy who played Frank Spencer, and he's a comic book artist or writer or something. And the costume for his character, which is Condor Man. Right. And the entire film is about it being stolen or something, and the build up to him actually getting in the suit and jumping and flying at the end, and then it's just it's a product of its time.
Listen, knowing my luck, I'll probably Google it and misspell it and be Condom Man.
I've seen that one as well. That's good.
What
Right, moving on to my picks for best characters. Again, don't forget, guys, in the chat, please do stick your team starting with the letter C. Not sure about Cannonball, but Cannon and Ball gets a thumbs up. Saw them in America. Very cool. Actually, I've already got Cannonball on mine. So here we've got my little team up. Not ChatGPT'd at all, but I'm not that familiar with some of the characters, but I do know I quite like them. So I have gone for Captain Universe, whoever the holder of the Enigma Force is at particular time. Are you familiar with Captain Universe as a concept?
No.
Marvel character, and basically the Enigma Force, which is this kind of cosmic power goes around and in times of great danger and stuff, it inhabits people's bodies and they become Captain Universe, and Ion and Omnipotent kind of being with all kinds of cosmic abilities, healing factor, strength, special powers, all kinds of stuff. There's a great run of about 4 or 5 comics, I think, where Spider-Man gets the Enigma Force and becomes Captain Universe. Really, really cool character.
You really are a barrel of knowledge, Peter.
Oh, I am. The shit I know about nothing, is incredible.
Peter GPT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, he's a real powerhouse of a character, and I quite like the fact that the power jumps around different characters all the time.
Yeah.
We've then gone, and this isn't Captain Britain. This is an alternate version of Captain Britain called Crusader X. So still begin with the C. You know what the big difference with this one and Captain Britain is, and why I've gone for this one?
Is it because that particular character's crotch is massive?
It's got a massive crotch, but actually it's the brown thigh-high boots. I don't know why, it just does something for us. So yeah, so this is Crusader X, which is basically Captain Britain. So all of the same powers of Captain Britain. A superb character. Absolutely love Captain Britain. Criminally underused. He's the kind of the king of, can't remember what it's called. It's not called Limbo, is it? It's the nexus of realities kind of place, where there's the Captain Britain core. So there's thousands of Captain Britons. He's basically Marvel's Superman. I was sure, at one point, and it might still happen, but I was sure they were going to try and poach good old Henry Cavill over.
Yeah, there was talk of that, wasn't there? Yeah.
To become Captain. That would have been such a slap in the face for DC, but it would have just
100%.
been such a good casting choice as well.
Yeah.
So obviously this is Brian Braddock, who's also Psylocke's brother as well. I don't know if you were aware of that. So Psylocke from the X-Men.
Okay.
So yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. Terry saying your thighs are in a funny place, Peter. Mine drop right below my ankles, to be fair. So yeah,
that isn't his thighs, guys.
So Crusader X, character I really, really like, and I just wish they would do more with. We've got Chris Bell in the chat. He's apologising for his tardiness. Not a problem, Chris. Not a problem. You've got 2 bits of work. 2 bits of work, Chris. We need to know what your favourite takeaway is, and then you need 4 characters to form a team beginning with the letter C. Okay, next, to be fair, isn't a character I'm massively familiar with, but I've become more familiar with her because of the absolute Wonder Woman series. This is Circe. Are you familiar with her, Andy?
I'm aware, yeah.
So she's the kind of an Amazonian witch with all kinds of mystical and magical powers and things like that. She's really, really good in the current absolute Wonder Woman run. She's kind of playing Wonder Woman's mother, in many regards. But she's a sorceress of immense power. So massive magic user. So I like her a lot. And then I couldn't not put Sam Guthrie in, Cannonball. He's one of my all-time favorite X-Men. He's not massively powerful. He's invulnerable when he's blasting. Are you familiar at all with Cannonball?
Oh yeah. Familiar. The 90s series, he was well in that all the time. So yeah, I'm familiar.
I don't know why I've always loved this character from his old New Mutants kind of period. And then I've just always enjoyed reading his stories. There's a fantastic issue of X-Men where he's fighting for whatever reason, the shy god Gladiator. Gladiator, the guy with the mohawk?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that guy's power levels are based on confidence. So the more confident he is, the more powerful he is. And he goes against Cannonball, and Cannonball literally kicks the shit out of him. It's superb.
I would have zero powers if it was to do with confidence.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's my team, guys. A mix of powerhouses, but also a mix of just characters I enjoy reading.
So, here, I've got a quick question for you. So you have to pick one of those 4 characters to have a hot toy.
I've got the Marvel Legends. I would love Cannonball with like a blast effect. So his lower half is just the explosion of him flying,
Maybe like a prime statue as opposed to maybe a hot toy would be pretty cool. Yeah. Like a huge one. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
What about you from both teams?
From both teams, I would probably go for. Well, there's already been a Hot Toy Cyborg, hasn't there? And there's obviously been, hasn't there?
Yeah, so there's a Hot Toy Cyborg based on the DC movie. There's also a Hot Toy Captain Marvel. We've not had an official Hot Toys Colossus. We have got a third party one, but it's. I'd like a metallic one. That would be nice.
There's a Prime Studios Colossus, as far as I recall, and it's absolutely stunning. So I would say probably Colossus, because I guess if you get Constantine, and unless he comes with loads of accessories, you're just getting a guy in a suit, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Or a trench coat, rather.
A Colossus die cast or with proper silver plating would be spectacular. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
we've got 18 people watching. Thank you so much, everybody. Please do hit that like and subscribe and thumbs up. It would be much appreciated. Let's jump to the chat, Andy. We have got a few more team suggestions. Michael Crawford, thank you. That's the guy I'm thinking of who played in some others who haven't. Love that. Andrew, Constantine, Cosmo, that's a good one. Captain Marvel and Carnage.
Carnage, I forgot about Carnage. Oh, sorry, ChatGPT forgot about Carnage.
The Cletus Cassidy version of Carnage, or Venom, Eddie Brock, because Eddie Brock's Carnage at the moment for some reason. Yeah, the Carnage is a good one, actually. I like that.
I think everybody's been venomized.
Everybody has. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. Captain Britain, Captain America's Bucky and Steve, and Constantine would be my four. Nice. Lots of people, lots of love for Constantine, mind. Carnage, Constantine, Cable, and Catman. Catman's an interesting one, Kev. You don't see him a lot. He was very good. There was a during the Villains United series, there was a was it Villains Lost or something? And Catman was prominent in that. I think he was very, very cool. Amazed Cyclops wasn't chosen. Yeah, I do like a bit of Cyclops getting an ongoing series. I don't know if you've seen that, Andy. There's going to be the first time he's ever had his own ongoing. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, very nice. Chris is saying Chinese, but it's pricey these days. It is indeed. Yeah, it is indeed. Everything's pricey these days. We've got Chris also saying Captain Atom. Nice. I like Captain Atom. Caretaker. Caretaker from Ghost Rider. Is that Caretaker from Ghost Rider, I think? Claw is an interesting one. And I'll never get that name right, but it's the god who embodies Juggernaut with his power from the gem. Cryatorak. So he's I'm handing in any sort of geek card that I've never had. You know Juggernaut, yeah?
Yeah.
You know he got all of his powers when he touched a gem, a ruby.
Yeah.
Which was the ruby of the word I can't say, Cryatorak. Okay. Cryatorak, that's just a vessel for this god, this evil god.
Okay.
Cryatorak. So yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Dungeon Crawler Kev is in brick oven pizza. Yeah, that's
here, pineapple or no pineapple?
I like a bit of pineapple. I
don't mind a bit of pineapple. Yeah. I love a bit of Hawaiian.
A bit of what?
Hawaiian.
Sorrel's team, Cable. Yep, very cool. Catwoman, Carnage, and Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang, yeah, that's good shit.
Imagine a diorama of Constantine and Doctor Strange sling spells at each other. Loads of spell effects. Would be a hell of a statue. That would be very cool. I would like that. Yeah. Secret Six. That's what I was thinking. Secret Six. Catman was great. Gail Simmons did a great job. Yeah. I remember that. Why not go the whole way and just shit in your own mouth, lads?
Hey, what happens in Thought Bubble stays in Thought Bubble, Chris.
Love pineapple, but never tried it on a pizza. I think Chris was upset with us here would eat the pineapple.
Yeah.
Wow, Chris. Wow, fair enough. Okay, so Andy,
I can't get that image out of my head now. Jesus.
What, killing one off in your mouth? Which of those teams, guys, do you think is the better team? Let me know in the chat. Which team wins this week's challenge? Okay, let's talk a little bit about some comics. Batman Black Mirror. Ta-da! We've got a copy to give away tonight, ladies and gents. Hashtag Black Mirror in the chat. Hashtag Black Mirror in the chat. And we shall give this away at the end of the show. Not Black Mask, because I for some reason thought it was called. So, Andy.
No, I'm going to let you start with this one, Peter.
Okay.
Because I don't believe you've read this before. This was the first time for you, wasn't it?
So I hadn't.
No.
I hadn't. So okay. I feel I'm going to upset people, but okay.
Oh.
I hadn't read this before. My only knowledge of this kind of series is Everybody Goes Crackers for the Jock cover, the Joker cover, obviously. And I've heard lots of people say this is a stunning read, superb, blah, blah, blah. So, a couple of things for me. First off, I'm going to get it right off the bat, Andy. Jock's artwork quite often just doesn't do it for me. I like some of his work, but other times it's not my taste. I wouldn't say that distracted us from the book. It's just not always what I'm looking for, I guess, in an artist. I was very surprised that this was a Dick Grayson story. I hadn't appreciated that going into it. And I loved that fact because I'm a massive Dick Grayson fan. I prefer him as Batman to Bruce, if I'm perfectly honest. So I loved that. The other thing I would say is I thought this was like an event or a contained story, like the other books we've been reading. And I got about 3/4 of the way through, and I remember I did message Fuzzy, I think, and I said, I didn't realize it was just literally kind of sequential issues of the comic. I didn't realize it wasn't a big event. Obviously, by the time I'd finished it, I realized it does all tie in together, but it wasn't what I expected. But what did I think? So, first couple of issues were fine. I enjoyed them. Didn't blow us away, but I enjoyed them. We then started to get into the Commissioner Gordon stuff, the stuff with his son. I'm a bad Bat fan. I didn't realize James Gordon's son was a known psychopath and all this kind of stuff. I've missed that. They were talking about him being caught off the bridge. I remember that in Batman Year One, I think. But then I've just missed that entire period of time from that point to this point. I've no knowledge of Jim Gordon's son. Do you know what I mean? So that was quite a nice surprise for us. And as that all started happening, that's when I got really interested. I was more interested in all the Jim Gordon stuff.
Yeah.
Probably more so than the Batman stuff. First few issues or first half were fine, were good Batman stories. The latter half of all the stuff with Jim's son and things like that, I thought was superb. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, I think I'd messaged Fuzzy or somebody else halfway through and said, I'm not sure I'm going to be saying what people want to say about this book because it's good, it's fine, but it ain't blown us away. But then by the end of it, I was like, I can see why people love this. I can see why parts of this story have really, really pushed the boat out and really impressed us. So that's me rambling in long way of saying I really enjoyed it by the end. I thought the complete thing was really, really, really cool. Love the focus on Jim Gordon and his son because it was new to us and it was interesting. And it was a bit like almost, I'm a big fan of Dexter and that kind of stuff. And the latter half really lent into that a lot, you know. And absolutely. I'm saying, sorry, Andy, I'm saying I'm not a fan of Jock's work. Sometimes for me, it looks unfinished, but other times it's phenomenal. So there's like an image, I think in one of the last two books, where you see the guy from their school who he's been taking bits off in his basement. Yes. That was an incredible image. Incredible, you know?
I would agree with you somewhat on the Jock interior artwork. For me, it wasn't my first introduction to his artwork, so that was obviously in Judge Dredd. I feel that if the panels have some sort of motion or there's almost, it's in a scene where there's, Batman's getting attacked or there's movement in it. I think that's when Jock's artwork kind of accentuates because you don't need to be as clean and cut with the line work and stuff like that. When he was drawing some of the stuff for the Joker, I absolutely adore the stuff that he done for Joker on the last few pages. I thought it was fantastic. For me, the story, I love this story, but I must admit, having read it for this maybe the fourth time now, and I did actually take the time to read it from start to finish again, I can see why, if this was your first introduction to this story, that the hype doesn't resonate with the story as much as I enjoy it. And it's less about the fact that Jock does the interior artwork, and it's just the story for me, and it is the characterization. It's the fact that, you know, James Jr. is a fantastic character in this, and almost, you know, is beyond evil. It's like you only see the tip of the iceberg, and, you know, give me a full run of just him as a character as the main event. He is High Street. He almost reminds me a little bit of that, you know. But I think for me, any writer who is able to make Gotham its own character, and for me in this story, Gotham is the Predator. It kind of mutates different crimes, it mutates different characters, all because of the world and the environment. So for me, I can understand why people wouldn't think it's as great as everybody says it is, but for me, it's one of my favorite Batman books, and I absolutely adore it.
So it's interesting. Probably, partially, perhaps some of my, not negativity, because I did enjoy it, don't get us wrong, but my views on it might be tempered by the fact that we've gone from kind of event book to event book to event book.
Yeah.
This really does feel like 10 issues of an ongoing series. Do you know what I mean? I loved some of the introduction of some of the interesting characters. I mean, the concept of the guy selling artifacts, I think, was great.
Yeah.
I wish they hadn't, if I'm being critical, I wish they hadn't converted that at the end to him turn into a monster kind of thing. And it was like, oh no, it was quite nice, grounded this to an extent. I didn't need to see a man bat kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like keep the human element, so it's more of a psychological character as opposed to a monster. Yeah.
I think for me, and I know Batman's got an amazing kind of gallery of bad guys, and it's quite fantastical at times. For me, Batman's always worked best when it's more grounded and it's crime based, and the people he's looking to capture are just psychopaths and crazies who are going out murdering people. When you start to get into the killer crocs or the man bats, are kind of like, oh, I'd rather he was just on the street, you know, cracking crimes and stuff.
Yeah, street level stuff. Yeah.
So, question for you then. Little wee James Gordon, he knew Bruce Wayne was Batman and Dick Grayson was Batman and Barbara's Batgirl at the end. So is he now, I haven't read on from this, obviously, I presume he's got their secret identities. Is he told people and things, or is he just...
I haven't read on past that. I only read this 10 or 11 issues or whatever it is. So I haven't read on to find out what happens after that. My understanding is, and somebody can keep me right in the chat, that there is no sort of confirmation on that, and it's sort of left in the unknown. And it's almost I prefer it that way. It's just like, you know, what you come up with in your brain is probably more than what it would actually be on the pages, sort of thing. But yeah, no, it was an interesting twist. There was a few things that didn't sort of resonate, and I didn't quite understand, but I just put that down to the fact that I didn't know the entire backstory. It almost felt like I needed to know something that had happened before to understand why this was all going on. But yeah, no, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody in the chat can confirm. Some
cracking covers, mind. I have to say, some cracking covers. Some lovely imagery there. But yeah, overall, very pleased I've read it. It's a one that I'm pleased to say I've ticked off and I've read. And I really did enjoy particularly the latter half of it, where it was very much a crime heist kind of thing, a street level. And you're right, the issue with the Joker was very well done, very well written.
It was in good company as well, considering the books that we've read previously. Yeah. It was a really, really high bar that we'd set ourselves for the books that we've already read. So I guess it's hard not to reflect and compare them to the other classics that everybody talks about. But for me, it's a book that every comic fan probably should read, and won't necessarily everybody will enjoy. But as a Batman fan, I don't think you can get.
It's a good Batman tale, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, guys, stick in the chat your suggestions for what classic or great story you want me to read next. Maximum 10 issue arc, please. It hasn't got to be a complete story, I guess. It can be 10 issues of run or whatever like that. Just a story that you really like, and we'll pick one in a minute. Just whilst these are doing that, I'm going to jump through the comments. Fuzzy's read it front to back today. Good stuff, Fuzzy. I definitely enjoyed Frank Cavaliers, can't pronounce
Frank
art
Avila. Yeah.
more than Jocks. Yeah, I was the same.
Some of the double page spreads that Frank Avila done were absolutely superb. There was one in particular of James Gordon that was absolutely superb. It was like a double page. And the first thing that came into my head, I was like, I wonder who has the original art of that, because it's absolutely superb.
Dan's confirming it's the art from Frank Avila that he prefers as well. Terry forgot to read it. Come on, Terry, get it read. Didn't know Gordon had a son, so I'd completely forgotten he had. But it's basically, if you remember in year one, he goes over the bridge, doesn't he? And Gordon's screaming, and Batman jumps over the edge to grab the son.
Yeah.
From that point on, I didn't realize he's referenced. But then I'm not a regular Batman reader, I have to say.
I love the fact that he was also talking about the fact that he had met the Joker in the asylum, and you know, they got on really, really well and stuff like that. And you're almost going like, who is the mad one between the Joker and James Jr.? And it's almost like, will James Jr. take over that mantle at some point down the line? You know,
I'd love to know. I mean, again, if people in the chat know, I would like to know if they've done more with that character, because he was very interesting, very creepy. He's a good Gotham villain.
Yeah.
I nearly gave up and vomited when Batman saw Roadrunner for the first time, and Roadrunner greeted him with a meep, meep, cock off. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I was struggling with a little bit at times. Then later Batman says, "That's all, folks." Come on, that's terrible. His covers look cool, but I prefer someone else to do the interior. Yeah. I know you're a massive Jock fan, and I do like some of his work, but there are some images where it just doesn't work. So I think it was in the car scene where it just looks like Batman's not actually standing on anything and stuff. I don't know. It's just not my style of art. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is fine, because we're all allowed different tastes, aren't we? And I know a lot of people love Jock's work. The panels with the airplane were really, really poor for me. What was you saying in the chat? Nice to see you, bud. Hope you're well. I also learned that Roadrunners often die from choking because they don't chew properly before swallowing.
I've actually got to agree with Fuzzy with regards to the airplane scenes. I thought they were pretty rough in my opinion. I think some of the best stuff was when you were seeing Batman flying and you had the cityscape behind. Because I still say, and I think I've said it numerous occasions, I think Jock's fantastic at doing background imagery of like tall buildings and stuff like that. I think they really resonated. But guys, it's okay not to like Jock's artwork. Just because I'm a huge fan doesn't mean that everybody else is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with you, but sure.
James is doing, you never see at the moment. Can't remember him being in the New 52, which came after this. Was this not part of New 52?
This was no.
Was that before that? Okay.
Yeah.
So he might have been retconned out of existence. I think Gordon knows, but can't acknowledge that he would be forced to arrest him. Yeah, I think you're right, Sorrel. I think Gordon knows as well. Daredevil Yellow. Okay. The last issue of Black Mirror Detective Comics 880 was the last issue of Volume 1 of Detective. Craven's Last Hunt, another classic. Silver Surfer Black, so I can have an excuse to buy it. Still want you all to do Ghost in the Shell. That's an interesting one. Revenge of the Sinister Six by Lawson. Balls to the Wall, full of cameos and action. I remember reading that back in the day. Yeah, I've always preferred Jock posters. They've always impressed me. We've got James T. of the Keegan in the chat. Jim Wills, love Jock's art in One Dark Night. 881 was the last issue of Detective. Then we've had Volume 2. Okay, Andy, let's pick a one from these few. Any of those jump out at you? We've got Daredevil Yellow, Craven's Last Hunt, Silver Surfer Black, Ghost in the Shell, Revenge of the Sinister Six. Some interesting ones there.
I would probably edge towards Daredevil just because it's a character that I enjoy and it's not something that I've read. Do we know how many issues that is?
It's only about 4 issues, I think, Daredevil Yellow. I don't think it's a lot.
Have you read it, Peter, that one?
I think I read it years and years ago because it's a part of a series of books from memory. Is it Jeff Loeb? I'm sure they did Daredevil Yellow, then they did Hulk Grey, Captain America Red, or something like that. But I think it's only about 4 issues.
Yeah, Fuzzy saying he thinks
Six.
it's 6. But I'm good with Daredevil Yellow if you are, Peter.
Let's do Daredevil Yellow next then. Let's do Daredevil Yellow next. Okay, we're on to the rusty spec deck. So this is the bit of the this is a bit of the show where we talk. You what?
You did the rolling of your R's again. That was
this. Ooh, Sins of the Wreckers. Never even heard of that one. We'll put that one on the list for next time, mate. So this is a bit of the show where we pick a property and we either a film coming out or a movie or a TV series, and we'll look at some of the books that are kind of attached to it. This is not me and Andy saying you're going to make thousands of pounds if you buy these books. These are just books that potentially could have a little bit of spec about them. And I thought we'd focus on good old Aliens and Predator-based books this week, because we've got, obviously, the Alien TV show going on at the moment, and we've got the Predator Badlands movie coming out soon. Andy, are you watching Aliens?
I've watched the first 2 episodes, and it is like a movie TV series. Some of the action is phenomenal. My concern with diving into that TV show was I didn't want it to be cheesy. And it's so far from being cheesy. I just think the characters are great, the writing's great, and some of the action is phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think what we on we on episode 4 at the minute?
Episode 4 and was on Wednesday night or whatever. So just watched that one.
Right.
Very, very good. Very good series. Thoroughly enjoying it. Tons of action. Some great introductions to new monsters and aliens. You've seen a little bit with the eyeball thing. We'll get more of that in the latest episode. Just very, very cool. Very cool.
Nice.
So let's start off with first appearances. I forgot to bring it. So we've got Predator issue 1 by Dark Horse back in 1989. These are comic book appearances. Obviously, this is the first full appearance of the Predator in a standalone comic book. And then obviously we know Marvel's picked it up. Really nice book to get a hold of. You got one of these in your collection, Andy?
Yeah, I have one of these. I thought it was worth a little bit more than high $60 because
I mean, yeah, I paid more than that, I think, for mine. Yeah. And you've also got to be very cautious with this one because I think there are about 5 or 6 different printings and things like that. So keep a little eye for that. It fades really badly, the orange color. So keep a close eye on that. But
it's almost like a New Mutants cover to a certain extent, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's a great book to have. We've then got Heavy Metal 26. I was wanting to bring you my copy of this to show you. So this is Heavy Metal magazine, which is always a great magazine. And it's got the 8-page teaser for their up-and-coming Alien graphic novel, which is basically a retelling of the story. High price for this is $65. I picked this up a little while ago, and I picked it up because it's got a... do you remember when sometimes it goes a bit awry in the printing press and you get 2 covers on the same book?
Okay, yeah.
So my copy of this is a double cover copy. Okay. So the outer cover is a little bit banged up, but then the inner cover is absolutely pristine and beautiful. And my understanding with CGC is they graded based on the best cover.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
So I might send this one off. This is one of those interesting ones though, because it is, like I say, it's the teaser of the first Alien story. But then some people regard the following story as the real first appearance. They don't count this.
This as, it's like almost like the cameo versus the first appearance type thing.
Yeah.
Have you got any magazines CGC'd? Do you have like
yes, yeah, I've got a few.
What do you think of them? I think they're quite
fragile. I've not had any done myself. I've bought them graded.
Right.
I've got a UK Transformers issue number 1 graded, and it came to us. I got it about 3 years ago, signed by good old Peter Cullen. But the case is all shattered on the bottom, so I do need to send it in and get a rehousing. And I've got some. I can't remember which other ones I've got. I've got a few others. But yeah, very, very nice, very cool. So yeah, I do like them, but I probably want to send a few off and have a little look-see at what they come back like.
Yeah.
Just a few comments. James, been reading the Marvel Predator 2022 run, loved it. Awesome lead character called Theta. Hope we get her in live action at some point. Yeah, it's a cool run. Eyeball Monster is my favorite. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the Eyeball Monster. I love the Dark Horse Aliens versus Predator comics. Were so good. They absolutely are, mate. CGC mark Aliens 1 as the actual first appearance. I wasn't expecting an alien show to make a sheep scarier than a xenomorph. Yeah, it's freaky as fuck. So yeah, let's focus on a couple of different ones now. So we've got the Predator, so their first kind of appearances, and kind of key comic books. We've got our first kind of crossover event I've listed there, which is Dark Horse Presents 36. That's because that's the first official battle between an alien and a predator. So it's the start of Aliens versus Predator, really. Get that for a really reasonable price.
Do you know, I was actually going to say that a lot of those Dark Horse Present books are really worth having a look at because they have a lot of first appearances, and some of the interiors as well have like artwork from, you know, famous artists and stuff like that, their first work. So it's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that's such a low price point, considering Alien versus Predator has kind of become a thing that most fans love seeing, you know?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Very cool. We've then got Batman versus Predator #1, so DC crossover. This actually came out, I think it's listed the year before, in a normal paper format, but this is the prestige version. This is the one I picked up off the shelf back in the day. Issue 1 and issue 2 have got interconnecting covers, hard cardstock cover. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful artwork on the covers there, and a great story as well. It goes a bit tits up from this point on, mind, because they do about 15 other sequels. But this first one is
and that connecting cover is phenomenal. Like, see if CGC or any of the grading companies done a slab that allowed you to do connecting covers.
Oh yeah,
that would be superb. Yeah.
Or even, you know, for some of the books we get the full gatefold covers or whatever, a slab that allows you to open the book up.
Open it up, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That would be cool.
And then we've got Predator #1 from Marvel 2022. Kind of listed this one. It's a very low price book, but this is where Predator has officially joined the Marvel universe. So potentially a bit of spec for the future for you, and Predator now being officially part of the Marvel universe. I've got a few different covers for that. I think I've got some in my giveaway box.
I've got the Scotty Young one. I think I've got CGC'd. That was a good one.
Did you get the Scotty Young alien one?
Yeah, I was going to say they've done the alien and the predator, and they're a great twosome to display. So now,
very cool. We've got 21 people watching. Thank you so much, everybody. Please do hit that like, subscribe, and thumbs up. Then we're looking at Aliens. This is the book that's a bit of a challenge sometimes when you're out on the hunt. Aliens #1 from Dark Horse from 1988. Officially the first appearance of the aliens and the xenomorphs. This has got, I'm sure, about 5 different reprints, slightly different colouring. 4 of them are pretty much identical apart from just slightly different colors, so you've got to be really, really careful with this book.
Really difficult book to get in high grade as well, just because of that color.
It's a beauty, bud. It's a beauty.
It's lovely.
This is a one that really surprised us because of the price point. It's the most expensive Alien book I could find, really. This is Alien Isolation issue #1. It's based on, it's a prequel to the Alien Isolation video game that came out a few years ago, and it was given away exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con and some of the comic conventions. If you spot this in the long boxes or the short box, it's well worth picking up because it's going for good money. High quality copy of it, $185. I mean, that's a pricey book.
Do you know who I'm thinking probably has a copy? Ephraim?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise us if he's picked it up. I don't know if James is still watching, if that's the one you've got, James, or if it's on your radar. I know you're a fan of the game. I've got the game as well on PlayStation. Wasn't aware at all of the comic version, and certainly wasn't aware it was going for that kind of money.
No.
And then same as Predator, we've got Alien #1, which is the first real introduction of the alien into the Marvel universe. I think, as we've talked about previously on this show and on other shows, Marvel are really milking the Alien and the Predator franchises for all they're worth. They're crossing over with everybody. There's multiple comics out. They ain't going to be letting go of this franchise anytime soon. I don't think.
I think any opportunity to do like a first like a multiple covers of an issue 1, that's what we're going to see. I'm almost sure that Peach Momoko's done a few of these, and I know Peach Momoko gets a hard time, but I think they were probably some of my favorite Peach Momoko covers. I think anytime she does that sort of Japanese inspired horror sort of covers, That's when she's at her absolute best. But yeah, I think I did pick up this one, but I think 45 variants of that cover.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I picked up a few different ones, but then it's just like, yeah. Chris is saying Aliens 1 was the first comic I ever bought that wasn't a dandy. Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice. And James hasn't got that one, too pricey. But yeah, just a few things for you to keep an eye on. Like I say, no massive ones there, but I certainly think Marvel aren't going to let Aliens and Predators go. And I think personally, we've got a bit of a kind of a resurgence with Aliens and Predator properties at the moment over in Disney. Always slag Disney off for Star Wars and what they've done to Marvel and stuff like that. They're doing Aliens and Predator proud. Everything we've had so far has been pretty darn good. So,
absolutely. Yeah. The only thing I would say, especially with the comics, is I found it really difficult to find a really good Alien or Predator story in a comic that I really enjoyed. I don't know if it's just the fact that it's hard to convey the action and the horror in the comic that you can on the big screen or on TV. Am I missing out? Is there any like really good Predator or Alien stories?
I mean, some of the original Aliens versus Predator stuff is very good. I really enjoyed. I know James wasn't as much of a fan. I really enjoyed the Aliens versus Avengers run by Hickman. That's just been out 4 issues, I think it was. And I enjoyed it because the art's beautiful, but also the clever way they use the aliens. So what they do basically is they weaponize them. So they pick a planet they want to destroy, and they basically fire eggs at the planet and just sit back and wait for the eggs to hatch and then destroy the planet for them. It's really good. So there's a lot of good stuff with that at the moment. I did also want to mention one other comic, sorry, Andy, just for shits and giggles. Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, Uncanny X-Men. It's a silly little one for a decent price, but it's worth picking up. It's Marvel's Mickey take of a DC series called Invasion, which was all about aliens. But it's got cameos of a whole host of characters: Chewbacca, Yoda, Jabba the Hutt, and the Xenomorph is in there, 18 also, Alf. So just as a fun little key, that is worth picking up and having a little look-see if you can get a hold of that one.
I try and pick this book up, especially I think there's a newsstand copy as well that you can pick up, and I absolutely love this book. This is a wraparound cover, this one, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've actually got a copy, so I'm
on
the hunt for it.
All right, okay. Let me have a look. I might have another copy that I can send you. What was I going to say? Yeah, the only series I can think of that I fairly enjoyed was Judge Dredd versus Aliens versus Predator. The Glenn Fabry covers on those as well. If you've not checked those out, guys, definitely worth having a look at those. And that story was enjoyable, but I don't know if it's just because Judge Dredd was involved for me. But yeah, definitely worth having a look at least just for the covers.
There's also an Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator out there.
Okay.
Now that's an interesting. I don't know who. James will know in the chat, I'm sure. I don't know who owns Terminator at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if Disney try and, if they can, get the claws into that at some point. All of these big 80s franchises, seem to be going
nostalgia, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Andrew's just seen, need to get into some Alien Predator books. I've got all of the Marvel Omnibus reprints of the Dark Horse stuff, but they've not done any AVP related ones yet. Everything's building to a new Alien versus Predator movie show. Absolutely agree, James. I think that's the direction of travel. I know people have talked about it. I really don't think we're going to get a Predator in the Aliens TV show. I just don't see that happen. It would be cool if it did.
Even if they just like teased it a little bit, like just to dangle that carrot.
The recent one by Paul Reiser was a good. Correct us if I'm wrong, Fuzzy. Man, my brain's gone blank. That's the guy who played. Who's the character in Alien? Burke. He played Burke in Aliens. And he wrote the kind of the follow-on to it. It's a really good story. Although I have to say, I cannot remember reading the finale. I've got a feeling I've missed the last issue of that.
I'm literally Googling as we speak, so I'll need to pick that up, because normally Fuzzy's bang on when it comes to.
I'm sure I missed the last issue of that one. I'm sure it's by the guy who plays Burke in Alien. Read the Alien versus Predator in 1990, where they introduced Machiko, the human female predator. Oh, I haven't read that one. I don't think I'll have to have a go at that one. I really love the old Alien story where that army guy released a bunch he thought he trained to be soldiers. Not read that one either.
I feel as if I'm missing out here. What's going on?
Great story. Skydance Media and James Cameron. Okay. Hello, Connie. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Burke. That's it. Burke. Yeah. There's a lot of Alien Predator camo in the Sinestro corpse. Probably is worth collecting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Were you aware of that during the Sinestro War in DC? No. So during the Sinestro War, there's some beautiful kind of 2-page spreads of all the different Sinestro, who are the yellow Green Lanterns. So their job is to instill fear. And in the images, there's lots of versions of the xenomorphs and predators and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
cool.
Nice.
Okay, guys. Okay. We've now got the pull list. So we've still got in the pull list Beneath the Trees and Exquisite Corpses. These are books that we've been reading or were added to the list because we enjoyed them so much we decided to continue reading. We've got both of them to talk about this week, and I guess we'll decide at the end of it whether we're leaving them in the pull list or whether we are jettisoning them.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start off with Beneath the Trees. Now, I started with Black Mask. You start with Beneath the Trees.
Cool. I was just thinking we might get to the point where we'll get like 10 books to go. Like we need to consider this. I don't think we really thought this through. Issue 2 of Beneath the Trees, and just FYI, it was released today that Patrick Horvath is going to be at Thought Bubble, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. So I think I called that one, which was a little bit more successful than my Scotty Young the previous year. That didn't go down well with anybody. But yeah, Beneath the Trees issue number 2. We sort of move away from the focus on the victim's sister in this issue. And we go straight back into the evil little teddy bear, and it's lost none of its charm in this issue. I think silence speaks volumes in this particular issue, and I think you get introduced to a few other characters in this where I don't know if this was Patrick's plan, but you're almost second guessing. Are these victims, or are these as mad as the bear is? Did you get that feeling at all?
I did. Yeah, I did. I
think it was definitely sort of a bit of an evolution in this issue with regards to how they were. It was almost like they were setting us up for another season of this because you saw little flashes of this is the new town that's getting built. And it's almost like the part where the bear, there was a section where the bear came in and they shoot this massive wild bear, but it's almost like the wildlife's encroaching as they're building new towns in this environment that they're in. So as they're building new places, all the animals are all dispersing, but they're coming closer to the town that they're living in. And it almost was the fact that they just took that bear out like that. Sort of stopped me in my tracks as well. It didn't. I don't know. I don't know if there was meaning behind that or that I didn't quite understand. But I thought it was quite a touching moment in this. Artwork is obviously on point for me. I really enjoyed the covers for this issue. I put a few of them there. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. The one in the top right hand side. Everybody seems to be going pretty crazy for that. It seems to be one of the biggest sellers. Am I missing something with it? Is it by a particular artist that I should know about?
No, I don't know. Not sure on that one. Not sure.
No, but I really enjoyed issue number 2. I thought it kept with the theme. It kept me interested. Introduced me to a couple of new characters, and I thought the bit at the end absolutely nailed it, where he was bathing in the blood of one of his victims. I thought it was absolutely superb. It's definitely for me going to be one that I would like to keep on the pull list. I'm so intrigued to see what happens. But yeah, I thought it was fantastic. What will be yourself, Peter?
So absolutely agree with everything you've just said. It's definitely staying on my pull list. I'm just so intrigued by this story and this universe. But it's screwing with me brain. I cannot work it out. So I spent a lot of time on the last series of this, and we talked about this on the different shows we all do, talking about the fact that it's like Sylvanian families crossed with, Dexter, which is at its core what this is about, which I absolutely love. But there's still this kind of unexplained weirdness, which is exactly as you've just described. These are all animals. Our main character is a female bear, and yet there's a real bear wanders in and they shoot it in the head and it's dead. And I kind of get me. It's not been explained why some of them are living in villages with clothes and some of them are real animals. Or none of that's been explained. Now, in the last season, we all had these theories and we thought at some point we're going to wake up and actually the main characters aren't animals. I just feel he's hinting there's got to be more to it than that. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be a bigger rationale.
Is that not the beauty of it, that our minds and our theories are
no, it's doing me head in.
I think for me, like we get introduced to that little nervous turtle, which I don't know if it scared me more than it intrigued me. And then we had this sort of eccentric bird lady as well, who seemed a little bit off a rocker. And it was just like, we're getting a sort of onslaught of all these new characters, and it's almost like it's rebuilding the world in the modern day age, because obviously the internet seems to be playing a big theme here, and it's that whole, this is a new avenue for the bear to explore, where he can basically feed the paranoia of the victim of the sister. So yeah, I love the fact that I don't really know where it's gone, and that's what keeps me reading, to be honest.
Absolutely. And Fuzzy's right. Fuzzy's saying, last year we had an image of the animals being in a butcher's shop buying meat, and I want to believe that Patrick has got some kind of twist or explanation up his sleeve. But like you say, do I want to know it, or do I just want to keep guessing? I just don't know. I love it. I love this universe. Cannot wait to see him at Thought Bubble. We're going to touch on that in a little bit. But yeah, this is going to be the big draw for me at Thought Bubble, I have to say. And I've got a shit ton of books to take to get them signed. Fuzzy, I know you're a big fan of this series. If you want to send us some of your books to get signed, mate, I certainly will for you. But yeah, this is going to be class. Fuzzy doesn't think there's any deeper meaning. I suspect you're right, Fuzzy. I suspect we'll never find out. We'll all just have our own little thoughts and theories.
And would you be disappointed though if there was no inner meaning, there was no massive twist, and it was just an environment full of animals that are killing each other?
So I was on the last series a little bit. I was expecting some big event, some big revelation. But I've gone back and reread it because I got it for my birthday in trade paperback. Gone back and reread it, and it's just a perfect little story. So yeah, I don't think you need it, but yeah, we'll see.
Fuzzy says Wind in the Willows, which is absolutely right. It's like Wind in the Willows crossed by Erie, Indiana.
Yes,
do you remember that?
Right. Back down, Pete. I'll be the knob in front of me with 100 books to get signed. 200. I don't think it's deep either. It's just a metaphor. We're all animals. Yeah, you're very, very true. Overall, though, guys, I love this. Andy loved this. Definitely staying on my pull list.
100%. Yeah, for
me. Not sure. Am I leading this one? Shall I go about this one?
Sure, go for it.
So, Exquisite Corpses. Right. We're on to issue number 4. James Tynion, as we know, does some stunning work. My fear with James Tynion is quite often his books start very strong with great ideas, and then they get strung out like Nice Houghton's House on the Lake and some of the other stuff, and it gets pulled so tight that it kind of loses a bit of cohesion. I love the idea of this. I love the concept of this. I've really enjoyed the first 3 issues. I love the interesting characters we're getting. It's 12 issues, I believe, this series, this season 1. We're on to issue 4, and every issue is pretty much the same thing, innit? We'll get a bit of chatter from the kind of the hierarchy, people. We'll then get introduced to a new killer, and we'll then get a killer get killed, and then it starts again for the next episode, really. So I'm worrying this is going to get old very, very quick. In this issue, we'll get introduced to Lady, whatever she's called, with the crossbow. She's the bow and arrow killer. She faces off against one of the other main killers in a bit of a battle. For no reason at all, we get a hand fly off. That's not really explained. We'll get later on a slight explanation about the web guy who's setting traps and says that he set traps at other catchers and things like that. But my problem is, and I think you're probably the same, Andy, as much as I love the artwork, sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. The panels don't seem to flow. The hand flying off is a great example of it. The guy's literally at a car and he touches the back of the car and all of a sudden something slices his hand off, but there's no real artwork that explains how that's happened or where the trap was or how it was sprung, or it just happens. And it's like, So I am enjoying it. It is staying on my pull list because I'm intrigued, but issue 4 and I'm starting to get a bit wary and a bit bored. So where are you at?
I think I mentioned the same to you. The first thing I said to you was with regards to, and it's in that page behind the front cover there about the hands flying off, and it didn't really make sense to me until you'd mentioned the character at the very end. But that for me is when I've got to stop and look at a panel and sort of dissect it and go, well, how did that happen? I sort of lose track of the story and get a little bit bored. It does feel incredibly samey, and I do have to wonder if it wasn't an element of FOMO, intrigue, and the fact that it's James Tynion who's written this, would I be bothered? And with regards to, whether we keep it on our pull list or not, I'm going to keep it on and keep reading it just because of that FOMO element, because I get the feel that I'm going to miss something if I don't continue to read it. And I feel as if I'm 4 issues in now, I may as well go ahead and do it. But it just feels like the characterization, the characters are fantastic. I think they're great. It just feels like it's 4 issues of character building.
Yeah.
And we need to wait to volume 2 or volume 3 or the TV show or the movie that's imminent that's going to happen, or the board game that they're making with the trading cards that you get free in it. It just seems like, there needs to be some sort of point that this goes to, and I'm not too sure that I'm there yet.
So I'm the same, Andy. I'm leaving it on for the time being, but I'm starting to doubt whether I'm going to get to the end of it. But we'll see. We will see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the chat are talking about just before we jump to the last book we're going to talk about. Pardon me. Sorrel saying I dropped this after the third issue, to be honest. Concept is there, but the book has gotten bland. Yeah, I agree. But I'm going to persevere. I can't tell if I'll make it to the end of this. I'm going to say it was 4 or 5 issues too long. I'm losing my love for it. Yeah. I've also stopped paying $7.50 for the playing card variant. Yeah, I'm the same, Fuzzy. I'm the same.
I didn't realise it was £7.50 for that trade. And apparently there's like a foil card that you can get, like a 1 in 15 foil card or something.
I got one of those. Those. Yeah. I've ordered the trade for the first 3 issues. Now I've said that. Maybe I shouldn't have. No, I think it's still worth a read, Terry. I do. I've got faith. Are there any Tynion books that have kept you intrigued, interested? Yeah, to be fair, Dan, there are. There are some that I've dropped. But so as Fuzzy says, The Deviant certainly has. I also really enjoyed The Woods that he did with Dilly, can't see his surname, the artist on that. That was Dilianis, yeah. That was a really interesting story. Really enjoyed that. And there was another one Tynion does, which I really like. What's it called? Wind, about mystical creatures and fairies and things like that, which I do enjoy. Nice House by the Lake, nah. The what's the one with the computers? World Tree, nah. And I have to say,
first 6 issues of Something's Killing the Children, I thought were fantastic.
Yeah, I've not gone back to.
What are we, like 40 odd issues now? So
yeah. Connie, James Tynion and Jeff Lemire are in the same school of authors as me. Super strong premise, super strong start, gets shit in the middle. Yeah, mediocre finish. I can't disagree with you, Connie.
That's my love life, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Strong start. Nah, no. probably the only one I haven't read. One of mine had 2 foils in one pack. Very cool. Good win, that. Good win.
God pack.
They have me on the cards. I feel invested, so I'm going to continue. Triple G Comics sent you a page of the Alien story. Really iconic, where everything is about to go wrong. Oh, cool. Thank you very much, bud. I'll have a read of that. I'll have a go at that. Never read an issue of of SK. Children. I got the hardback graphic novels, Fuzzy in the slipcases, and I have to say the first volume was really good. I've not read the second volume yet, but I will give it a go. But let's end on a high, Andy. Let's end on a high, on a book that was recommended by our good friend Fuzzy of the Dunlop, and has absolutely blown me away, which is Escape #1. So we're sticking with theme, really, from the first book we talked about, of characters that are kind of, what do you call it? Is it anthropomorphic?
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah. So animals based on characters. This is a book set during kind of a World War II event. We'll pick up the tale with a crew on a bomber who are heading into enemy territory to blow the shit out of this giant gun. And it all goes a bit tits up. Before I go to Andy, I have to say two things for this for me. One, the artwork is some of the best artwork I've ever seen. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. But two, this isn't just an easy read. This is really deep. You know, when it's talking about like collateral damage and things, and it really does feel like they've gotten, because bit by Rick Remender, who does some amazing work, but it really does feel like they've sat down with veterans and got them to talk through, you know, their experiences and their feelings and the emotions involved with carpet bombing civilians. You know,
Absolutely.
I found it much more emotional a read than I expected. What about yourself, Andy?
So I only realised Fuzzy had actually read this whenever he put it up on his Instagram, and I actually messaged him after it because the cover was what intrigued me for this, and this was visually stunning. This book, I would say, one of Daniel Acuna's artwork in this is superb. So some of the covers that I put up there are absolutely, that 1 in 50, I think it is in the bottom right hand side, I think is superb. FOC has just released a second print as well, so check that out. It's a great cover. I loved it. Again, it was a great read, visually excellent. I thought the fact that they'd done it through the lens of dogs was amazing, and it almost gave you a little bit of compassion for, you know, these characters who are effectively in war and killing each other. And you became invested really, really quickly in those characters that were in the plane at the very start. And this book doesn't, it doesn't hesitate and beat about the bush. It throws you straight into the action. And the complementing artwork allows you to feel like you're inside that plane almost. And you're so invested in the characters that you want to see it. And it wasn't one of those books where I went, oh, geez, I've got another 13, 14 pages. I was like, oh, I'm at the end. I want more. I need more of this. For me, it was great. I was looking at some of those pages and going, wow, I don't know if this was digital art or if it was, you know, original drawn art. I was like, can I get some of the original art for this? Because some of it was absolutely amazing. Great read. Probably the highlight of my comic week, maybe comic month, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb. Highly recommend it if you haven't read it. And for me, it's definitely going on the pull list, even just to look at the art.
Absolutely. Out of everything we've talked about this week, this is the one I would recommend. I think this is my favorite. Dungeon Crawler Kev is just saying, "Eat the Rich" was rather unique. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Was that good? Was that Tinian? Was it? I don't remember. I don't think that was Tinian. But it was a great story. I really enjoyed that. It was a good book. It was a good book. Chris, it wasn't a bad read. That Fuzzy, bloody cracking issue. I adore this. Rick Remender can do no wrong. Yeah, I love his work. I have to say he's one of my favorite writers. I'm loving the Sacrifices as well. That's a good story. Daniel Acuna's art is as good as it was in Avengers Twilight. I knew I recognized the art, but I couldn't place where it was from. You did the art for Avengers Twilight. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. They talk like people in the forces. They didn't dumb it down for you whatsoever. Absolutely agree, Fuzzy. And it's really complex, isn't it? Because we tend to see war and things like that as goodies and baddies. And when they're talking about the fact that, you know, they're going to obliterate all these civilians, you do start to get that line blurred where there is no goodies and baddies here. You know, we're all committing atrocities. So yeah, it is very, very cool. Very cool. Eat the young. Eat your young. Oh, I haven't read that one, Kev. Oh, I'll have to check that one out. I haven't read that one. Very cool. I'll read that one, but let one know in the chat who that one's by. What publisher, mate? I'll have a look. We've got Samurai. Nice to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Okie dokie, Andy. Thought bubble.
Are you going to keep us on your pro list? Did you tell us? Did you say? No.
Yes,
yeah,
no, I did. Yeah. Escape. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's on the
Cool.
Yeah, highlight. Yeah. So we've got Thought Bubble coming up. We just thought we'd mention it because we've had some announcements today of some big creators. I was talking to Andy before we went live. I need like a guide because I see these people's names and my brain just doesn't put them to comic books. So I need some help with that a little bit. So we're probably going to try and do something as the weeks go on about people that are going to Thought Bubble and the stuff that they've produced. But the big name that we've both spotted is obviously Patrick, the writer of Beneath the Trees. So hyper about that. Going to take a ton of stuff for him to get signed. And I'm hoping he's going to do some panels, Andy. Yeah. What about yourself? What jumped out for you, mate?
Patrick, first and foremost. I think for me, I was a little bit concerned that we'd waited so long to get the announcements, but I was kind of keeping my faith that, you know, there was a reason for that, and getting these people on board and getting them over isn't easy. When I started looking at the people who are actually exhibitors and weren't kind of up their names up in lights, I noticed that like Terry Dodson was in amongst those. And again, another fantastic artist that I would highly recommend, getting some commissions done with. But again, Thought Bubble has transcended to being, I guess, less about the convention and more about us all having an opportunity to meet up, and it becomes a yearly thing. So I think regardless of who was attending, anybody who was attending would be sort of a bonus.
Absolutely.
For me, to be honest with you. But it's interesting what you say is that you see some of these names, and unless you're invested in some of the books and you can relate the book to that person, then you don't probably appreciate some of the level of people, artists and writers and so forth that are actually attending. Yeah. So I think, again, the Killer Comic Show, we done the sort of road to Thought Bubble, and we had a fantastic jingle, as Fuzzy has alluded to. But I think this time, if we just sort of maybe do a couple of slides where we match up the people that are going with some of the books that they're famous for, just so that people can get that connection and understand what they can bring with them, I think that would be worth doing.
Absolutely. So there are some good names already attached. I'm already money down because I've spoke to Sylvia, can't remember her name, the lady who does the artwork for Elvira, who also did me a commission last year. I've booked 2 commissions with her. And as Fuzzy's just mentioned there, Dave Watcher is going. He was on today's list. Dave Watcher's the guy who did me 2 commissions last year, and probably my favorite commissions. So he did as the Donatello on the Turtles cover, and he did as the Green Goblin. So I've messaged him tonight and asked if he's able to book in some commissions ready for Thought Bubble. So I'm waiting on a response. So yeah, some great stuff. Bat Dancing, Scott's Collectibles still haven't announced who they'll bring, so it's not lost on big names. They're going to bring Tinian, aren't they? They bring Tinian every year, James Tinian, which is great. But I'd love someone new.
Well, who would you like to attend?
Alex Ross. Alex Ross, Mark Wade, Bagley. Yeah, I'm a Marvel schlub, so those kind of artists or writers. I would be happy for Snyder to come back. I don't think he was there last year, was he?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Yeah, no, I'd be happy with that. Yeah, I think Mark Bagley would be a great person for me to meet again. But again, like I'm just happy with anybody at this point, to be honest with you. And hopefully we get a few more. It almost feels like they must have a big hitter, like a really massive big hitter in the back of their sleeve, like almost like a headliner for a gig sort of thing that we're just waiting on. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. I've picked up a lot of work, and the guys in the chat will know, from a guy called Mike Perkins recently. I'd love him to get there. Oh, also our good friend, oh man, bloody brain's just gone blank. Ian Richardson. Thank you, Terry. Ian Richardson is coming, and I've already sent him 4 covers, so he's going to do some commissions for us as well. So yeah, very cool, very cool. Lots going on at Thor Bubble. Weatherspoon's best brace itself. Okay, bit of market watch, Andy. Stuff that's been, oh, look at that. Never.
Yeah, I will. Crazy. I will fly through this. So I was shocked when I seen this first appearance of Judge Dredd. That's 2000 AD, Program 2. Now, these are difficult to get in good condition. So even though this, in first glance, doesn't look that great, for what it is for the price, €151. So it's at about 130 quid. I couldn't believe this.
I mean, I'm presuming that won't be with the tats. That'll not be with the tattoos, which is
no,
where
definitely.
A lot of to be fair, is where a lot of the value is in this book, if you can get it.
I guess if you're getting it graded, yeah, that's where the value is. This is one that's on my sort of bucket list to get eventually, and I think I want to hold it and try and get one that's absolutely complete. But yeah, I couldn't believe that this only went for 130 quid. This feels like one, if I'd seen this, that I'd maybe given it a little bit of a bid just to have it in my collection. You know, low grade is better than no grade, as they say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would have gone for this as well. I would have gone for this.
You used to have this and you sold it
Andy, I did. I had a beautiful copy with tattoos. I sold it on eBay. It was an absolute ball ache because the guy then said it wasn't the same. It wasn't the what you call it? The pictures hadn't shown some of the damage that I absolutely had. But anyway, I got my money, but I regretted selling it pretty much immediately.
That's a good conversation to have. One of the shows is any books that you've got rid of that you regret.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody's got a few in the chat.
Just whilst we're talking, we're talking, Fuzzy, which Muppet, Mr. Freeze, which Muppet? Let us know. Sorry, Andy, carry on.
A Muppets, Mr. Freeze. Oh, he's got me thinking there. Which character would I like to get in DC or Marvel that is in a Muppet form? That's next week's show, or next show. My Pet Monster. Oh, when I seen that, like, I knew that they had a bit of value, especially if they had the chains intact, because I had one of these when I was younger, and that was the first thing to go, because you'd put them on your siblings, or you put them on yourself, and they would just be like, would just snap. £567.58, 16 bids. This bad boy went for back in 1986. Did you have one of these, Peter?
Nah, I don't think I did. I don't. No? I mean, I just don't remember having one of them. I don't know why.
I would say Sorrow must have won it. Sorrow, if you're still in the chat, you must have one of these. This is right up your street, I'm sure.
So I know there's a new version coming out. So they're re-releasing this. So there's a modern version coming out. But yeah, I don't even remember seeing them. Do you know what I mean? I don't remember seeing them around much.
I remember sort of late 80s, early 90s, looking at the Argos catalogue, ticking them off in the pages whenever it was near Christmas time. Yeah, those were good memories. But Red Hood and the Outlaws. Now, this is one I put up just because I thought this almost felt a little bit overpriced, and I don't know if I'm missing something, whether it's the story, the artwork, whether there's a key issue amongst this, but this is Red Hood and the Outlaws, issues 1 to 43, 45 to 52, the annuals 1 to 3, and Red Hood the Hill 1 to 6. Am I missing something here, Peter? Is there a key issue here, and is there value in 43 bids at 249 quid for this?
I mean, it's a lot of comics, I suppose, but I'm not familiar with any key books in that lot, but I'm not really a Red Hood and the Outlaws reader. So I'm assuming this. Let me know in the chat. Excuse me, guys. What are the keys attached with Red Hood and the Outlaws? Is it J. Scott Campbell art on the covers? I'm sure that the cover work is by I want to say Campbell. I don't know who the cover artwork is.
I mean, you would think if it was a J. Scott Campbell, you'd stick that in the title first and foremost, wouldn't you? Because you get even more money. I mean, I guess if you break it down, you're talking, 50 books there, so you're talking, £4 a book. So I guess if you break it down to that, but I just thought it felt a lot of money for something that I didn't really quite understand what the draw was, but maybe it's a great story. I don't know. Who knows?
It's not a great story, I don't think. I remember reading the first few issues and thinking, bah, that's enough. It's volume 1, isn't it? I'm just doing a bit of Googling.
Yeah, I think it's volume 1, yeah.
Red Hood and the Outlaws. First appearance of the Outlaws. First cameo of somebody. Nah, nothing exciting there.
Well, Connie's saying there in the chat that she's been rereading Red Hood and the Outlaws. And if she had £250, it'd probably be she'd buy them as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Must be missing something. Maybe something I have to check out. But I thought that was just a lot of money for something I didn't quite understand where the value was. But next slide, Peter.
Next slide. Cha-ching.
We have a large vintage original Transformers toy bundle. These are the sort of listings that I absolutely love, because I don't know if anybody else is the same. I'll go into those pictures and I will zoom for the life of me just to see what is there. Is there anything really special that somebody's missed? But it looks at the 24 bids and £643. I don't think anybody missed it. They saw exactly the value in this. And I actually think this was fairly cheap for what you're getting. I know the picture isn't great. You don't see everything, but
you've got a good selection there. But
I mean, and they all look in fairly good condition as well. I had a couple. I look at a couple of the other pictures, and even the transfers and things like that were on some of them look pristine. So for me, again, the opposite of the Red Hood, I feel as if this was a good deal.
You've got a Soundwave there with 3 of the cassettes at least, so that's £100. Ultra Magnus at the back. That looks like it's in great nick. Got blue, got cup. There's a lot of nice figures there.
Yeah, absolutely.
643. Yeah.
I don't I'm sure everybody does this, but everybody has their saved listings on eBay. Everybody has to have toy bundle, comic collection.
Yes.
Have all those saved, because some of the bargains that you get in there are absolutely crazy. But yeah, as Samurai's saying, there, massive collection of Transformers stuff there, especially if you only needed 1 or 2 of them, and you can just maybe flip the rest of them as well. But would that be something you would pick up? You probably got all these, Peter.
No, I don't actually have that many Transformers, but see, I haven't got that many. I've got 2 shelves, so I go for Generation 1 and I go for originals only. I'll have to show them off sometime. You can't really see them behind us there. Well, I've got my Scorponok, I've got my Megatron, original Megatron, Soundwave, Grimlock, Prime, Metroplex.
All complete?
Pretty much. I'm missing a few cannons and things, or various ones. But yeah.
Do you ever watch the YouTube channel Toy Federation?
Yep, I do.
Oh, guys, I recommend that. I'll drop the link after I finish this. Toy Federation on YouTube is one of the best YouTube shows. The shop is absolutely unbelievable. They've only just opened up a new section of it, but they actually pride themselves in only having complete toys on, nothing missing with regards to accessories on their shelves. And it's a great watch. The nostalgia is pouring out of me whenever I'm watching it.
I've got a video coming out about this in a few weeks' time. But just to show you, I think I mentioned these a little while ago. These books I've found.
Oh, you get those in, did you?
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. So Master of the Universe. What I've started doing with the He-Man one is, as you can see, I've gone through. It tells you all the weapons. So I put a cross next to the weapons I've got. So when I go, because this is my primary collection, so when I go hunting, Teela there, I know I haven't got Teela's shield, so I know to get that. But the reason I've pulled that out is you're talking about the Transformers there. They do the Generation 1 version. This is almost essential because there's so many friggin' Transformers, and they come with so many bits to them. Like there's Megatron. You see the list of different sections that you need to try and find from them. So if you are like me, you enjoy the hunt in the wild, that's quite a handy little resource to have. So you can just tick off when you're looking at an item, you can turn to the page and say, yeah, I should have this, and this. Because Optimus Prime in particular, a thing that lots of people miss, and I haven't got it on mine, is he came with in the back of his truck for the robot element, the kind of the hand thing that stands up. There's a little black wire that goes from that and goes into the little vehicle, little tube, and you never find that. It's really hard to get a hold of. So yeah, it's worth doing that.
And you know that's going to be sitting in a bucket at a car boot or you know, a thrift store somewhere. Then you just don't know unless you know, sort of thing. Those books look fantastic. Actually, are they worth the money?
So, like I say, video coming out soon over on Triple J Comics. But you can get them on all kinds of different ones. You can get Turtles, Ghostbusters. I picked up for the figures that I collect. So the reason for this is I'm very old and I'm very slow. So when I go to toy fairs and things like that, I've quite often forgotten what I've bought already or what bits I'm missing. So this is quite a handy little thing to have. So I've got the Generation 1 Transformers one. It's a big chunky monkey. It's absolutely chock-a-block with all the different bots and things like that. So that's a nice one. I've obviously got the Masters of the Universe. So all of the original He-Man figures, the vehicles and all kinds of stuff. And it's fun reading these because there's stuff in here that I've never frigging seen and I've never heard of, you know? Like I didn't realize there was a weird Monsters line of He-Man figures. See that rhino thing?
Is that not dangerous though? Because you're like, oh God, I'm going to have to go and find that out.
Look at the state of that bear thing, man. So there's like weird things that I've never even seen before. So there's them. I also got the Thundercats one, which is all the.
Did you get Mask? Did you get Mask?
Did I get
Dude, I need to get that one.
Mask is a nicer quality book. So they're all kind of rung punched ones. Mask is a nice printed book. Goes through them all in detail, all the different variations and things like that. And it's got all the individual figures in the back. So there's a chart of all the different little men to collect. I
do love a printed book like that as a reference book, but give me an app.
Oh yeah.
I need an app.
That's because you're a computer ChatGPT kind of person. I like the feeling of it in my hands.
I'm surprised you never got it on a blackboard.
I should. I wish they did. It's all done by the same guy. It's all unofficial. All done by the same guy on YouTube. And I wish they did a Visionaries one. There are a lot of toy companies, a lot of toy products from back in that time that don't have massive lines. So Sectors, Visionaries, some of those kind of figures, you know.
Centurions.
Yeah, Centurions, exactly. Do as a book that's got kind of miscellaneous figures. That would be great. That would be great. Sorry, I've missed the chat. Lots of people comment on those. They're very cool. Connie, I'm too much of a completionist, so I'd get the book and I'd have to make sure I'd marked off every single little box. Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same. Absolutely. Sorry, Andy.
No, it was a good segue. And yes, make sure that you watch the video. When's it out, Peter, the video for that?
The idea. I've got them booked now until November, so it'll be coming some point.
Of course you have. Next up is Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 1 from June 1984. I think this, I can't remember what printing this was. Do you know off by looking on it?
That can't be a first print. It'll probably be I have to say I'm not a big Turtles kind of knowledge, I guess. So I don't know what the difference between I don't know what the difference between print 1, 2, and 3 is. For 1,500, that's got to be a third print or a second print. No way. If that's a first print, someone's walked away with.
I'm almost sure it's a second print, but I'm sure somebody in the chat will be able to have a quick look for me. I'm almost sure it's a second print, but I could be absolutely wrong. But I thought for the money, I thought this was a decent buy. It's always one of those books that I would like to get in any printing, not necessarily obviously a first print. But I know 1,500 quid's a lot of money, but considering the condition of that, it looks in really good nick for the age. And I don't think there was a huge amount of these that were actually printed in the first place. So for me, I thought that was a decent buy.
I think that's an incredible price for that, to be honest. I'm really surprised at that. So yeah, I think that's a good one. That's a good one.
I think Connie's fallen over. She's like 1.5k. Is that good?
that is for a first Turtles. Absolutely. The what do you call it? the first print, Connie, the first print, because it had such a ridiculously small print run, goes for more than some big key Marvel books. It goes for like 20, 30 grand in decent condition, and even not decent condition. If you can get a hold of a copy,
any copy, it's a little bit like those Judge Dredd paper copies. Just get a copy just to have it in the collection. I've messed up the last image there, so that is, I think, everything done.
Andy,
I know.
We'll let you
I never learn.
We'll let you off. Kickstarter. So, talking a little bit about Kickstarter, I wanted to talk about our good friend Kev. Lovely guy. Does incredible artwork, creator-owned books. Does some stunning commissions as well. He's currently working on a little surprise book for me that I've got him doing a commission on. So yeah, he does some stunning stuff. But he's got a Kickstarter out at the moment, which ends very soon. It's smashed its goal, but would love to get it a little bit further down the line as well. Andy, what do you want to mention about this, mate?
No, I just really just to support Kevin, because I think anybody that's actually doing it, like, we can all talk about it and go, it'd be great to do that, it'd be great to do a comment. This guy's actually done it and is doing more, and I just think that I think it's always good someone within the community. I think that's the first time we've used that word on this show. Community.
Were you sick a little bit in your mouth?
I mean, I actually got a wee bit of a shiver. I'm not going to lie. But no, I know there's a lot of people who appreciate Kevin's work, and he's a really nice, solid dude. That whenever I've met him at Thought Bubble and stuff like that, so just to go and support if you can. I think that the thing that jumped out at me was the fact he was doing like an original art piece, plus obviously the comic for like 22 quid or something like that.
It was ridiculous.
And it's either tonight or tomorrow. I think it's due to end. So if you haven't already and you want to support somebody within our community, then I'd highly recommend you go and check it out. I'll drop the link.
It's worth saying as well that the comic will be phenomenal, because all of these books are phenomenal. But if you back it where you get the art piece as well, it doesn't have to be an art piece based on this comic. You can get him to do any character you want. So the last book he had on Kickstarter, I went for the art piece, as I do every time with him, and I got a superb image of Thor. So yeah, you can get him to do whatever you want, and his artwork is incredible, absolutely incredible.
34 hours to go for this one. He's got 43 backers, and he's met the goal. So his goal was 700 quid, and he's got 947. So I think I saw a post by Phil who was basically saying like he needs to get to 1,000 to get to the stretch goal. So that's 2 or 3 people. And I know at the end of the show I'm going to be backing it as well. So please do if you can.
I've backed the one where you get the art piece. That's the one I would recommend people go for. You cannot get cheaper, bespoke, commissioned artwork. Do you know what I mean? And it's of an incredible standard. So please do go check that out. Okay, let's just have a little look. Let's just see if I can share my screen. I don't know if I can share that, Andy, that you've just sent us. See if we can put that in the chat.
I tried to put the link in the chat. It won't allow me, so it might allow you to copy and paste that in.
See if that goes, guys. There we go. There we are. Yeah, so please do go check that out. It's a phenomenal book. But also, as Andy said, Kev's one of us. He's just a genuinely nice guy as well. He's a really nice bloke. So please support as much as you can. It would be much appreciated.
And a fellow ginger, Peter, as well.
Exactly. So. Well, I used to be ginger back in the day. But yes, he is a fellow ginger. And that's your whack. We're at the end of the show. Nigh on 2 bloody hours. Right, guys. Hashtag Black Mirror. There's only 11 of you added to the giveaway at the moment. There's 23 people watching. So if you want a chance to win the book we've been talking about tonight, Batman Black Mirror, please do stick hashtag Black Mirror in the chat, and we shall give these away very quickly. Andy, just whilst we're doing that, we're going to show off a few pickups. I've not got much to show, but I'll show you what I've got. Speaking of Kickstarters and things like that, I interviewed a chap a while ago called Max Ferranda, who was a lovely guy from Australia, was self-publishing a book called Stellar Lands. So me and Efren got an advanced copy of it. We read it. I quite enjoyed it. Efren didn't, and told him. We then did issue 2 of it, and again I watched it. I got an advanced copy, read it. I quite enjoyed it. At that point, I couldn't back it on. Well, I could back it, but I didn't back it on Kickstarter because the postage price from Australia to here was ridiculous. But anyway, that's changed. They've got a different print run, so now I've managed to get it. So I've got 3 copies of the standard issue 2. It's a self-contained story. This is by Comics Shop over in Australia. It's a bit like Comics Tribe, I guess. All 3 of those issues are going to go in the giveaway box. And I got 3 foil copies as well, of course, because I love shiny shit. So 3 copies of that will be going in the giveaway box. It's a space story. It's quite good fun.
I believe members get 7 books if they win the giveaway. How do you become a member, Peter?
Sexual favor. No, you go onto my YouTube channel. Thank you for the plug, Andy. You go onto my YouTube channel and there's a link there. Telling lies. This is actually issue 1, not issue 2. Don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the other thing I picked up. Are you watching Peacemaker?
No,
it's pretty good.
I haven't watched season 1.
Season 1. It's pretty good. So one of the things I picked up, and I kick myself, so I don't like to get into spec and all that kind of stuff that much, but Peacemaker season 2 has introduced a new character. We don't know if we're going to see her more. She was in issue 1, and it was a Batman villain called the White Rabbit.
Oh yeah,
very sexualized, very sexualized. But her first appearance has gone through the roof. It's gone quite pricey, and I just happened to be going through good old eBay, and I spotted someone selling the first 8 issues of the run for 20 quid. So I picked them up. So I got our first civilian appearance in Batman the Dark Knight, and then a load of other issues. But then it's a nice copy. This first appearance of the White Rabbit, issue number.
So everything bar issue 3 is going into the giveaway box. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, issue 3 and issue 1. So our technical first appearance and our cover appearance first appearance will be going into the giveaway bin.
There we go.
There you go. So there you go. What have you been picking up, Andy?
I picked up some toys and some original artwork over the last couple of weeks. So I'll start with some toys. And I really don't know what is happening to me, but I saw this and I knew instantly that I need to have it for a number of reasons. So Funko have brought out these little arcade itty bitty toys. And this one is Sonic the Hedgehog. They do Tron, they do Star Wars, which is on my list to get. And I just think they're fantastic. And I like them. And I don't care what anybody says, okay?
Right. I've never seen them before. Well, I've seen the images of them, but I don't think I've seen them I don't know anybody that's bought one.
Yeah, I think they're fantastic. I love the little itty bitty Funkos, I must admit. Sorrow approves.
So you made Sorrow happy.
Speaking of Sorrow and you guys and to blame, did you see that Blockies they're bringing out Star Wars Blockies now? Oh, and speaking of toys, Lego are bringing out a Gizmo. You know,
I saw that.
Take a bow, Lego. Yeah. Take a bow. That's all I can say. That. But yes, I have a bit of a penchant for Mr. Optimus himself. So this is the Transformers 1 Classic class.
Nice.
Yep, there's that. Yes. And
I'm loving the Blockies, actually. I'm enjoying those.
I got this bad boy as well.
Oof.
So this is the G1 Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
So they will be getting built and displayed.
That's a nice one. I like
love
that
those.
One.
And then this was probably my pick of the last couple of weeks. Speaking of Lee Carter, I picked this up.
Oh, lush.
Original artwork for Judge Dredd. It spoke to me, guys. It absolutely spoke to me. And Lee has been excellent, really, really easy to work with and stuff like that. And the packaging was fantastic. So I'm really delighted to add this to my original work.
I love that. I love that. That is very cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. Cool Optimuses. Arty, nice. I bought too many toys this week. Did love getting the Marvel Legends Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack. Nice for 30 quid because Amazon messed up the price. That's very cheap, Andrew. That's very cheap. Very cool. Okay, guys. So let's give away these this book. We've got 19 entries. Best of luck, everybody. Off we go. Let's see who today's winner is. And like I said, you will be winning the Batman Black Mirror trade paperback with the full story that we've just been talking about. We've got Samurai Media Mainframe. Congratulations, Samurai. You are this week's winner. I think you won a couple of weeks ago, didn't you, Samurai? Congratulations, mate. Good stuff.
Thanks.
It's the only name in the list. So yeah, congratulations, Samurai. Good stuff. Good stuff. We shall send this to you. I know I've got your address, but just to help my old brain, please do drop us a line on Instagram, and we shall get this posted off to you within the next week or so, Pud. Okay. Coming up on my channel, we've got a whole host of videos that I've been pushing out, and we've also got our live show on Tuesday night. The usual shits and giggles and all kinds of stuff like that. So please do check back then. Andy, what's happening over on Instagram with you? Are you getting much stuff on there at the moment?
Just posting up the regular stuff on perpetual.comics, and if anybody wants to come and give me a follow, that would be much appreciated. But really enjoyed the show tonight. Thanks to everybody that has been in the chat and everybody that's going to watch the rewind. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody. Come back next time where we'll be talking about Daredevil, Yellow, and whatever other books have been out that week that have hit our fancy. So, thank you very much. Until next time, ladies and gents, we will catch you next time. Bye.
The curtains close. It's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun, and hit like, subscribe before you run. All that remains is our thanks to you from Triple G and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your whack. Yeah, that's your